All right, we are live. Let's see here. Check the old chat. Do the crime, you have to do the time, says John Mick. So, yeah, I think a lot of people do agree. It was intentional. There was so much data to show that it was intentional. From the actual video itself to Denny Hamlin showing the SMT data. Now, that being said, Denny Hamlin is not a sympathetic figure. He wrecked J.J. Yaley earlier this season. He wrecked Kyle Larson for a win. So it could be argued that he could have been equally suspended for that as well. But Chase Elliott did the cardinal sin of right hooking somebody on a straightaway. So it is what it is as far as that goes. There is precedent for it. Bubba Wallace also right hooked Kyle Larson at Las Vegas, I think. And so there is precedent set there. But that being said, there are definitely a lot of Chase Elliott fans who do not see it this way. So it will be interesting to see how they see it going forward. Another big story out of this controversy, though, is that Corey LaJoie is going to get an opportunity to drive that number 9 car. This is a huge opportunity for Corey LaJoie. It looks like this is probably going to be the best equipment he's ever been in the Cup Series. So hopefully he can have a good showing. He can keep Hendricks number 9 in the top 16 in points, which I think they are 16th in points right now. Owner's points, I should say, for the number 9 car. Obviously, driver's points is a different story. Chase Elliott, 81 points out of 16th right now. So how many points he loses, he would still have to make up like 10 or 12 points. I think he had to make up 5 points with the original when he missed it for the snowboarding deal. So he was well past that 5 points. So when he comes back, he will still have an opportunity to point his way in, but it's going to look like he needs a win as well. Obviously, the win would be much easier. You can just automatically lock yourself in, but there is still a path for him to point his way in. That was probably the one thing that surprised me about it. He lost his temper in this manner and cost himself a really good opportunity of getting there in the points. But let's go to the chat and see what you guys had to say about it. 5x5 on my end, says John Mick. That's great. So it looks like everything's working. It's amazing seeing Chase Elliott gets. Oh, there's a poll up, by the way. Do you think the suspension is fair? So if you want to vote on the poll, go ahead and jump in on that. It's amazing to see Chase Elliott get suspended. I never really liked him anyway, says Marcus Lewis. So I think that drives a little bit of this as well. There are as many fans as Chase Elliott has. He has his equal amounts of detractors. So it can be said for sure that I guess not equal because he is a driver, but it could be said that some of this is because of opposite and equal reaction, right? So a lot of people do want to see him get suspended, not just because he hooked somebody, but because they just they're tired of the most popular driver, in their opinion, getting favorable treatment. So there is that aspect to it as well. Chase Elliott has to learn to smile and just say, hey, it was one of them racing deals, says John Mick. Yeah, I mean, he did deny it. He did everything right. So as far as that goes, he still shouldn't have hooked him. It was just so obvious he hooked him. I think NASCAR had to do something. There was already precedent, so something had to be done. I'm just happy Corey gets in great equipment, says one wise guy. Yeah, that's going to be a huge story. Hopefully he gets in the good equipment and he has a great race and further ups his stock. So hopefully he can get in some better equipment. Nothing against Spire, but hopefully he can get in some better equipment going forward. Or Spire, he can do a good showing and everybody will see Spire's got a good driver and maybe they get some sponsors and can build up Spire over there. I voted yes. Chase should be punished, says Mike George. So, yeah, right now it's looking like 85% agree with the suspension. Mike George, what's up, man? Good to see you on here. Bumblebee saying, I'm not sure what to say other than wow and fair call was made. You can't risk. They don't look highly on that. Yeah, also, I mean, it's dangerous. Like, nobody was hurt, so I wasn't really thinking about the danger part of it. But, yeah, it's always a dangerous move. That's why it's against driver code to do things like that. The right hook has always been a big no-no. Chris R saying happy Tuesday. Hope and also like kudos to NASCAR for doing the right thing. He is the most popular driver. A lot of people thought he was going to get passed for that. Happy Tuesday. Hope all is well. Hopefully Corey can have a solid run, says Chris R. I hope he has a good run too. I love LaJoie is getting a shot, says T Van. I think that is the vast majority of what people are thinking. Happy to see LaJoie getting in a good shot in a good car. He might be a contender in St. Louis, says Ken. Yeah, I think he will be a contender too. That car is fast, and we know Corey LaJoie can get it done. that St. Louis race is a lot like a short track. We know Corey LaJoie is good at short tracks, so it's going to be a cool deal. Corey wins at Gateway, and post race interview, Corey calls Denny Hamlin an idiot. Says Joseph Wooten. He might go and hug Denny Hamlin. I don't know, because essentially Denny Hamlin got him that shot. I don't know. Glad for Corey, says Thomas Haywood. Definitely happy for Corey, says Bumblebee. Having the computer snitch on you is why Bubba got in trouble, says John Mick. Same thing with Chase Elliott, in my opinion. I think if it wasn't for the SMT data, the NASCAR wouldn't have suspended him. NASCAR going full out WWF, LOL, says Jake Campbell. So, yeah, there's definitely – the last couple of weekends have been super dramatic. Last 3 or 4 weekends, lots of drama. There's no doubt about that. Blaney proved last night. Give him a car and he can win, says David Nyhoff. Yeah, so that's the one thing that sucks. Nobody is really talking about Blaney's win as much as they're talking about this controversy, but Blaney for sure, man. He put it on him last night. Cardinal Sin by Chase Blayman, the next gen car, says John Mick. Oh, there you go. That's what he got suspended for. He complained about the next gen car. Carson in Cup says Provocate. Yeah, he'll be driving the 77 or the number 7 Inspire. Where Corey LaJoie is leaving the Spire car for one race. He will be replaced by Carson Hocevar. So Hocevar will get his first start as well. Try saying that name 3 times fast. That was a hard hit for Denny, says CD. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Denny Hamlin was mad as fire. If you listen to his podcast, he was dropping all kinds of cuss words, talking junk that Chase Elliott should be suspended. So he was going all out to make sure he got suspended. I mean, ironically, he did wreck J.J. Yaley and Kyle Larson. So like I said, he's not the most sympathetic individual that it happened to, but that being said, he still shouldn't have got right hooked, regardless of who it is. Thomas Haywood, another good run, and I like Denny, but he's not sympathetic because he does similar crap. Another good run. I said similar because he hasn't right hooked anybody, to my knowledge. Another good run for Bubba. He really needs to act better if possible. So yeah, he's had 2 top 5s, and unfortunately, still being talked about for the wrong reasons. Because he got into it with Almirola. Almirola got into it with him. However you want to look at it. Just Wooten, it takes a lot of pissed off Chase Elliott, just like Matt Kenseth. Chase hit his breaking point, says Joseph Wooten. For sure, Mark Langren, what's going on, man? Good luck, Corey. Yeah, hopefully Corey cashes in on this opportunity because we don't know when he'll get another one again, but I'm super stoked that he's getting this one. Chastain's thinking we're mad at Bubba this week. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think more people are mad about the Chase Elliott situation. The Bubba incident is actually kind of flying under the radar just a bit relative to the Chase Elliott deal. So either way, Chastain's like, yeah, thank God they're not talking about me this week. Pissed off or not, you don't do what Chase did, says Bumblebee. Yeah, I agree 100% with that. He lost his cool, and not only that, but it's going to cost him some more points. He legitimately had a way to point his way in, and he was working on it race by race. Like Larry Mack laid it out, all he had to do was gain 5 points per race or during the original when he broke his leg or whatever. And now, he had all that progress he made. He lost it because he's going to miss another race because he lost his cool. So that's another aspect you can look at it. Main thing for me is that I can respect at least NASCAR was consistent with their calls. So they did have precedent, and they for sure were consistent on this one. Mark Langren, just another reason not to watch NASCAR. So the ban continues for Mark Langren. He's not happy about it. Speaking about fair and hypocritical or whatever, we've got the Actions Hypocritical shirt. So there you go. There it is. If you want to look at the Bologna Burger collection powered by Accelerated Graphics, there it is. There is my shop is on that. The link I just dropped there. BB, not sure if you have the numbers. But was this 600 longer than last year's? I think with the red flag, it was definitely longer than last year's. I don't know how you do apples to apples on that with the red flag. Denny Hamlin blames gravity for losing the race, says Claude Aviles. Yes, the gravity out to get him once again. OJ and Toothpaste, since Chase is suspended, I heard that Derek Cope might be the backup for Corey if there is an issue. Bob Pockris reports, so keep an eye out for that one, says OJ and Toothpaste, no doubt. Earth 2 is in full effect. On Earth 1, though, however, it is going to be Carson Hocevar without question. Mark Langren pulling out the bacon-wrapped sirloins update. Oopsie. Sirloins updated packaged mashed potatoes with cheese, butter, onions, and bacon with smoked corns, onions, and bacon. I messed that one up. But yeah, that definitely sounds good. I like all that. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin, what's up, man? This is great. Golden Boy got a personality since he sat out with a broken leg. Yeah, for sure. He wasn't afraid to show his anger, and he even tried to get out of it with his interviews afterwards. So yeah, for sure, he showed some personality. For all the people that say he doesn't have any personality, he showed some yesterday for sure. And I'm surprised NASCAR suspended him, but I think he kind of had to, because it was pretty obvious to most people. Some people still disagree and think it wasn't intentional, but I think most people, 77% at least, thinking it was justified. So I'm imagining that 78% are thinking that it was intentional. Stop your whining, Bubba, and crying like baby Hamlin, says Mark Langren. So there you go. Those are two drivers who aren't afraid to speak. There's no doubt about it. And they're basically teammates since Denny Hamlin owns 2311. Chrome Diesel, glad NASCAR did the right thing. Elliott needs to get a bigger picture. He had a car to go fast last weekend. Instead, he destroyed himself. Yeah, so much like the Bubba Wallace situation, they both had fast cars and they both wrecked themselves and ended their day, costing them points and a possible chance at a win, because he easily could have recovered and got the car worked on and had a chance to win there as well. So he just lost his temper and he cost himself big time. Hopefully this sends the message not to right hook anyone, says RJ Carlton. I 100% agree with you, because the right hooking, that's got to stop. That's sorry racing, and there's really no place in the sport for that. Mark Langren, sorry, beat on someone long enough and they will break. Yeah, so let's not act like it's just like if you watch football, it's always the guy that reacts that gets the yellow flag. So when somebody does something to them, that person gets away with it, and then they react to what that person did to them. That's when the flag gets thrown. So it's definitely one of those situations. Chase Elliott was reacting to how he was being driven, and instead of using his veteran mentality, he is the past champion, so I'm going to call him a veteran. Using his veteran mentality to just let it go because they know it's a 600 race, he got caught up in it, and he went full mental, and he took himself and Denny Hamlin out, and it's going to cost him one race, and it's also going to cost him points in the race that gives out the most points. If you look at stage points and all that stuff, how did Legacy Motor Club get all three cars taken out on the same lap? How ironic would it be if that debris that they ran over was debris from Jimmy Johnson's car? It hasn't been proven or anything, but what if Jimmy Johnson's debris took out all three of the Legacy Motor Club cars? That's just something I'm throwing out there. It might not have happened. It might have happened, but for all those cars to go out on basically the same lap, that was something else. Kim Bugga says, Action Supercritical, great t-shirt. I appreciate it, Ken. Yeah, so they're up on the site, so check it out. I dropped the link earlier. Let's see here. Lindsey Weston, what's up, man? Hi, mate. Just about to sleep in Europe. No drama in the end. Penalty was called, been given, but there is a risk here with precedent. The only difference between this and the 11 and the 5 was intensity. Yeah, 100%. So, like, Denny Hamlin basically admitted that he wrecked the 5 on purpose to win that race. So you're right. Where do you draw that line? We're going to suspend this guy for intentionally wrecking a guy, but with this guy intentionally wrecked a guy for the win, we're going to let that go. And also, he wrecked JJ Yaley earlier in the season as well. So by precedent, it was a very similar wreck to Bubba Wallace, but also by precedent, there are some other wrecks with Denny Hamlin in particular. And I'm not picking on Hamlin; he was just involved in this one, so I'm using him as the example here. He's had 2 incidents where he intentionally wrecked somebody this season too, and hasn't been suspended for it yet. So all that talk he did on the podcast, he should be careful of what he says, because it might be him next time. But that being said, it is a safety issue, so you have to suspend them one race whenever they do the right hook. Thomas Haywood, Chrome Diesel, I so agree. He even took himself out. Yeah, he lost his temper and cost himself quite a bit. Glock says Hamlin never complained about Bubba's suspension. He put out a statement saying he and Jordan agreed and wouldn't appeal. And yeah, Hendrick's doing the same thing. They're not going to appeal either. We're talking about Hamlin complaining about Chase Elliott wrecking him. That's what I was getting at. Also, been a while. Hello to all the baloney heads out there. What's up, Glockopus? Always glad to see you on here. I hope everything's going good up there on the west side. Jay Campbell on Earth 2, that wheel in the Indy 500 still hasn't landed. I cringed when I saw that go over the fence. Yeah, thank goodness that did not go into the stands and hit anybody, because it was so close. It actually had so much momentum it cleared the stands. So it sucks that it hit that person's Chevrolet Cruze, but it looks like it was at least minimal damage to the Cruze as well. So they'll be cruising in the Cruze going forward. Dad joke. I don't apologize. It was hilarious. Marcos Lewis, considering the monster truck, bad habit. Relapse has a Dale Earnhardt license plate in the back, says Marcos. Chase has a week of sitting out, resting his legs, says Mark Barnum. So yeah, and the other thing is, I saw somebody say, does Chase get another commercial when he comes back this time? So that's something we can look for. Thomas Haywood says, can we hit the like button? Yeah, so if you want to hit the like button, that would be much appreciated, but don't feel pressure to. I just got home from work. Holy cow, Batman, early live stream, 9-car. Got what he deserved. Happy for Corey's shot in a good car, says Say Kyle. Yeah, I think everybody is pretty stoked for Corey LaJoie, even if it comes at the expense of Chase Elliott. But that being said, Chase Elliott lost his temper, and you sort of when you right hook somebody, there's no leeway. Clockabus saying, Bumblebee, I can name at least 2 people who have passed away wrecking the same way in the same spot at Charlotte. Look at like how Roper hit. Thankful for the safer barrier. Yeah, thank goodness for that safer barrier. And at least the front end of this car definitely being way safer. How do you think Corey LaJoie will do in the 9-car? Says John Ray. I think he'll give it a good run, in my opinion. He's used to these cars, and he's going to be happier with how much horsepower and how much better that car probably handles than what he's used to. I think they need to spend Denny Hamlin to suspend for taking the 5-car out the week before and went to the race and right hooked him into the wall. Why aren't we doing anything about that? Says Dave Moss. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can go back and look at a number of races where somebody was wrecked on purpose. So from that aspect, it can get kind of murky. Which ones are we suspending people for races for? Is it only the right hook, or is it for all intentional wrecks going forward? That will remain to be seen. Bumblebee saying that is exactly her point, talking about the safety issue of it. Yeah, 100%. It's a safety issue. The right hooking and the left hooking needs to stop. No right hook or left hook unless it's on pit road with your hands, says Mark Barnum. I'm against that too. So I'm against all of that. Just race. Go out there and race and have fun. If you can't have fun making millions driving race cars, what can you have fun doing? You're just going to be a miserable fella or lady for the rest of your life. Why haven't they suspended Chastain for the way he took Kyle Larson out at Darlington? Same stuff. I'm just watching Dirt on 7. Oh, yeah, the Dirt series. Check that out for sure. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The infinite numbers of people you can go back there and say this guy should have been suspended for intentional wrecking this guy. But what's funny about this is Chase Elliott has complained about how Ross Chastain races. Denny Hamlin has complained about how Ross Chastain races. And what do these two do when they get beside each other? They drove like Ross Chastain drives. So that's what I'm saying. All drivers are hypocrites for the most part. That's why I have a good chuckle when they complain about each other. Earth 2, Ryan Newman fills in for the suspended Chase Elliott, while Casey Kane drives the 84 Legacy Camaro when JJ's not the driver. So there you go. JJ, Jimmy Johnson, man, gosh, what a terrible season for him. Legacy Motor Club too. Oh my goodness. But Earth 2, they're all getting dubs over on Earth 2, no doubt about it. Jimmy Johnson gets his first win on Earth 2 yesterday, by the way. John Stevens, what was the type of thing that Kyle Kurt would have done back in the day? They had anger issues. Oh, that's a fair statement. They definitely for sure. One wise guy saying, when are the tank tops coming? The tank tops are a little ways out right now, unfortunately, wise guy, but we are working on them. I haven't forgot about you. I'll actually talk to that guy again tonight and see what the timeline is on the tank tops. And probably it'll probably be the next design before we get them on a tank top. So we'll have to see how that goes. William Wagaman, but the tank tops are coming for those who want them. Casey came, one of Sprint Car Features. Eddie, and you should have slashed weekend, says William Wagaman. I don't know what that means. I'm just surprised I was able to read any of it. Joshua Nasworth, if you want my honest opinion, I don't got money to pay, but if you want my honest opinion, here's my thing. Denny Hamlin's a coward. He's done this. He done this to Chase Elliott a couple of years ago. That's what I'm saying. You can go back as far back as you want to and see intentional wrecks from just about every driver except maybe Martin Truex Jr., maybe Eric Almirola. I don't know. I feel like after listening to Denny's, how he handled it as well as he could, a lot better than I would have. I don't know. Listening to the podcast, I don't know how well he handled it. He was dropping all kinds of bombs on that one. Let's see. What about the poll? Who burned their Jimmy Johnson stuff since he is going to TRD? I don't know. 75%. I feel like it's going to be yes. So I will end this poll. But yeah, I don't have a problem with what Denny Hamlin said. It's just the fact that Denny Hamlin does one thing and acts another way. I think that's what a lot of people sort of have with that one. Mad is going Toyota. So there you go. I'll ask it that way. There we go. Is anybody mad that Jimmy Johnson is going Toyota? And so whenever I do that, I lose where I was. So I'm just going to start right here. One wise guy saying, I appreciate it. Talking about the tank toss, no problem, dude. Fords came alive in trucks this weekend too, says Mark Barnum. Yeah, so it was a good day for Ford, good day for Penske, good day for Blaney. Good day for all of those involved. So that was good to see. Napa Racing fans saying Team Penske wasn't that good besides Blaney yesterday. Yeah, so Blaney had definitely a different setup. There's no doubt about that. What's up, Roofer? One wise guy. I appreciate it. I just read that one. Yeah, we will get them up, and you'll be the first one to know. I promise. Or second one to know. I guess I'll be the first one to know. You'll be the second one to know, wise guy. Robin Marks, howdy from Canuckistan. You're on early tonight. Oh, if you want Ross not to drive like Ross, put him in a slow car. He wasn't a factor. Yeah, he ran over something. I was listening to it on XM. I guess I've got a free subscription to XM for a little while. But I heard it on XM that from Justin Marks that he ran over something and killed the splitter. So that's what happened there. Benjamin Lewis, can we agree? The only JJ driving like a champion is JJ Yaley. No doubt about it, man. JJ Yaley, elbows up. A good thing for JJ. They just called it legacy and not winning legacy or championship aspirations legacy, because right now they're just hot garbage legacy. Says say Kyle, not Kyle. Yeah. So if you're going to go with an aggressive name like Legacy, you need to get more dubs, is what's being said there. And I do tend to agree with that. 65% right now saying no, they're not mad that Jimmy Johnson went to Toyota. So to answer, I forgot who asked that question off the top of my head right now, even though I just read it. But yeah, right now 62% are not mad they're going to Toyota. Understand Legacy's move to Toyota doesn't mean I would support them, says Mark Langren. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people in that one too. There is still a lot of brand loyalty. You just don't hear about it as much as you did in the 80s and 90s. Ford's last 1.5 mile win since Logano was Vegas last fall. So there you go. Chase Elliott, the most wanted. Elite Precision. What's up, bro? Oh, so Elite's in here. I missed Elite somewhere in there, I think, when I put the poll up. Let's see. What's up, BB? I find it hilarious that the guy who gets suspended for right hooking someone is being replaced with someone that has done it on multiple occasions, says Elite Precision. So there you go. That's a fair statement as well. Corey LaJoie got in trouble for it earlier this season, I think, as well, or last season. I can't remember which one. So Zane Smith to the 78 car next year, says OJ and Toothpaste. Oh, I don't know. In Earth 2. We're talking about Earth 2 here for sure. No doubt about it. Elite, what's up, dude? Good to see you on here. With Legacy goes to Toyota, what does that mean for the King? The King is they've already bought him out. He's just on there as a consultant. He said he'll keep consulting though. So there you go. He hasn't spoken anything about Toyota, but I don't really see where he would have a problem with it, because he has worked with just about every manufacturer there is at this point. Roofer saying what's up to Elite. Zane Smith going to an Xfinity and a Ford. I think Zane Smith's going to drive Cup next year, but that's just me guessing. The King changed manufacturers like models changed outfits, says Benjamin Lewis. So reiterating what I just said. Chase Elliott, most wanted, doing good. Elite Precision, I'm not doubting Carson Hocevar's talent, but he has a lot of maturing to do. I'm actually shocked people are happy for Hocevar. A lot of people have foggy memories. I see, LOL. Yeah, Carson Hocevar, he's like one of those guys. He's like Chase Briscoe. People forget about it from week to week. They like him one week, and then they forget about the bad he did when they didn't like him the other week. So that's a fair point, too. No doubt about it. Justin Allgaier in the 7-inch feather erase. Let's see. Sorry, I fell asleep. Yeah, so Justin Allgaier getting the win last night, too. So that was two guys that were on pretty long winless streaks, Allgaier in Xfinity and Blaney in Cup. So good for both of them. Toyota's future. And what a race Justin Allgaier and John Hunter Nemechek put on for that win as well. And Austin Hill was coming if they ran out of gas. He should have probably pitted 10 laps earlier, and he would have had him. Toyota's future looks real bright with the merger of Legacy Motors. And not only that, they're taking control away from Gibbs. Gibbs doesn't have as much control now because now they have 4 other teams that aren't Joe Gibbs. So when Joe Gibbs wants to get rid of a driver like they did with Kyle Busch, Toyota has somewhere to put him now. William Wagaman, KCK, won a sprint car feature. Hey, so there you go. Napa Racing Fan, Legacy, more like Tragedy and Travesty Motorsports, Napa Racing Fan. I like it. Mark Langren, you noticed that Roger was at Indy. Yeah, I mean, he owns the track, he owns the series, so we know where his money was at on that one. Elliott saying, "What's up to Roofer?" 1000 saying maybe instead of right hooking the 11, the driver of the 9 should have got out and right hooked Denny in the head. Maybe. I don't know. That might have been. Well, I don't know. They don't suspend people for that, so maybe that's the move. Maybe that's the move from here on out. Mark Langren. Bikini had another lousy weekend. Yeah, the 38 car. Ironically, Zane Smith took her out there. So he spun, and there was no way for her to avoid it. But she was running up there with Zane Smith, so I feel like she was running at least decent at that point. William Wagaman, the new phone, Bologna Burger, sorry. Casey Kane won a sprint. Casey Kane, that's who I was. Okay, I was trying to figure out who you were talking about. Feature at Huss Speedway over the weekend. I'm getting ready for the 52,000 to win show out there. So that's pretty cool. Old Casey Kane, who recently said he would think about coming back to Cup. So he'll definitely, him getting wins in that and possibly making a few starts. I would imagine for Legacy Motors, not Legacy, but I would imagine he would make the starts for the 91, right? That car there. Mark Langren, can't wait to see Chastain drinking Bud Light. I think he's going to be a Busch Light man, but yeah, that's coming. If the controversy ever dies down, they will announce that the Busch Light sponsorship is going to the one car. I was meant to say Carson Hocevar, not Corey. Says Elite. Yeah, I got you. I figured out what you meant. But actually, Corey got in trouble for hooking somebody or intentionally wrecking somebody either this season or last season. He didn't right hook them, but I think he intentionally moved somebody out of the way. Kyle Busch or somebody was complaining about it, if I remember correctly. I might be misremembering it. Jimmy Johnson should have stayed retired, says JD Mayo. I mean, I don't know. As long as he's having fun, and I don't know. It's just going to be a down year for him because they got no factory support from Chevrolet because they announced they're going to Toyota. Mark, she would have had a better weekend if it wasn't for the 38. That's for sure. Glocktopus, LOL, Mark, I am ready for the chokes. Chase Elliott says Glocktopus. Chase Elliott, the most wanted, says NASCAR suspending Chase Elliott. Definitely debunks the Golden Boy hoax. Yeah, so there you go. That it does show that NASCAR is not afraid to punish him. Napa Racing Fan, I'm not a fan of Chase Elliott this week. I'll pretend that name was never involved with NASCAR this week. Yeah, so what he did, he lost his temper, and what he did was really stupid, but it's not the end of the world. Like I said, he's going to get the one race suspension. That's going to snap him out of having an attitude when something like that happens. So hopefully it's the best. The series subscription is worth it. Buy it every year and you'll get a deal. Listen to NASCAR radio every morning on the way home. Absolutely worth the price of admission, in my opinion. Says Say Kyle, I don't disagree with you. I just haven't had it probably in 2 or 3 years. Probably since I was working in the factory. JD Mayo, JJ should have stayed retired. A lot of people saying Jimmy should have stayed retired. Poll suggestion, which Ford Cup driver will be the next to get their first 2023 Cup win? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could do a Q&A with that one, or I could just add options. Let's see. Got to end this poll to do that one. So let me leave this poll up for a little while, and I'll get to that one. Let's see. I am consistent with the Hocevar kid has talent. Yeah, Hocevar definitely has talent. He did a great job in the pits too, as a announcer, walking around during the rain delays. He did a good job down there as well. Let's see. It's downright painful to watch JJ this year. How many more races does he have to suffer through? Yeah, hopefully next year he'll be much better with the good Toyota support and all that. I said the same about Hill last night. If he had come 10 laps sooner, things would have been way more interesting. Yeah, 100% Napa. 100%. Elite, the LePage video was awesome. Oh yeah, so check out Elite's page if you haven't. He's got a great page. He's got a good one fixing to come out, but the Kevin LePage video is really good. It's why people say he just LePage the field. You get the backstory behind that. Good video, so check it out. The link is right here. Stupid Roofer just dropped it for you. Drivers are only as good as today. Carson has a better record for clean driving this year than Chase Elliott. He has a chance to get better, just like KB8. So there you go. It is a what have you done for me lately, or what have you not done as far as wrecking people lately? For sure. Glocktopus says Legacy MC hit everything but the lottery. Yeah, that's 100%. If it wasn't for bad luck, they would have no luck at all this season. Napa Racing fan said, I would have preferred Jimmy stay in IndyCar, even just run ovals like Ed Carpenter does every year. Yeah, he'll get his mojo though. Like it's a new car to him. Elite saying, thanks, Kyle. I love all the support you guys are showing. Hey, you're the man. Like we're showing support for a reason. You do a good job with what you do, buddy. Mark Langren, where you finish is all that counts. Good drivers stay away from the incidents. I mean, that's a fair statement for sure. I think she's going to be better suited in a car, so hopefully they will put her in a car before too long. Napa Racing fan, two great runs at Texas and Iowa and Indy. Should have kept going on ovals. Chase Elliott most wanted. Type W in the chat if you think Ross Chastain's nickname should be Melanator or Melonhead. There you go. That's another one we could. If you want Melonhead, type H. If you want Melanator, type W. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 W's so far. Mark Langren giving the thumbs up to Haywood. Let's see. What's it going to take for NASCAR to move some of the races around on the calendar regarding the last few years and weather delays? That's a good question, one wise guy. You think they would at least Martinsville. Kyle B ran Stenhouse into the wall. Ricky tried to punt him. Do we suspend him for trying? Is the exact same payback? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta draw a line somewhere. So NASCAR at some point is going to have to clarify why some people get a one-race suspension and why some people don't. In the case of Chase Elliott and Bubba Wallace, it was very obvious, so I do understand those. Throwing a sub to Elite Precision, your content is good, says Glocktopus. So there you go. He does have good content. I think if anybody checks out his channel, they will definitely want to sub to it as well. Homer Simpson saying, hey, BB, do you think Chase should have appealed the penalty? Nah, just let it go at this point. You're not going to win it. So, I mean, and even if you do, people are going to throw an absolute fit just because of the Louver. Remember Louvergate? If they win another one like NASCAR, it would just be so bad. Good. It would be good for views on my channel, but it would be so bad overall for NASCAR. Chase not racing next week is going to hurt the ratings for that race. Says 1,000 HP. Yeah, it probably will. There's no doubt about it. It looked like Kyle B let Stenhouse back and by him and then passed him clean, which didn't cost him anything in the end because we didn't have anything for Blaney. They did have a good race, and Kyle Busch, he hit everything too, but he kept his car going and ended up with a 6th place with a pretty damaged car. I'm so sick of the NASCAR won't penalize him nonsense. They tracked the 24 down like a dog with that 60 points after the appeal. The dude is still about to lead the points, shaking my head. Yeah, so I'm with you. NASCAR tried to penalize Hendrick, and the appeals court screwed that up, to be totally honest. So NASCAR is not afraid to suspend Hendrick and all that. That being said, they do have favorites for media and stuff like that, but when it comes to rules on the track, I don't think they necessarily have favorites so much as NASCAR is just highly inconsistent. Stupid Roofer, because remember when they fined Dale Earnhardt Jr. for saying the S word back in the day? So they will do it to the most popular driver from time to time. I'm with NASCAR on the Chase incident. Good call by NASCAR. Consistency, says Roofer. Chase Elliott, W. Oh, here we go. So maybe I'll put that up for the poll. Then I'll do the Ford driver thing. Going to end this poll. We're ending multiple polls before the chat ends today. I'm making progress. I'm so proud of myself right now. So I thought I'd tell you that. Let's see. What was I going to ask here? Oh, yeah. Ross. Nickname. Melanator. Melonhead. Ask the community. There we go. We have another poll up, and let me try to find out where I was at. NASCAR Twitter is actually united for once after the Chase suspension. Says Elite Precision. Everybody except for the Chase Elliott fans, which I'm not sure if anybody is ever that's not a Chase Elliott fan is ever in line with all of the Chase Elliott fans. There are a lot of really normal Chase Elliott fans out there, but there are also a lot of Chase Elliott fans who are yahoos. So it is what it is. And the same with other drivers too. We just happen to be talking about Chase Elliott here. And he has the most fans, so by default, he has, of course, the most Yahoos. Benjamin Lewis, it looked like I just read that one. Oh, yep, so I actually did catch up for once. Please retire her and give her a ride to a real racer, says Mark Langren. She'll probably be moving to Xfinity next series. So somebody else will be in that truck next year. Is NASCAR putting Chase Elliott through personality training? He seems to be coming around lately. He's definitely showing more personality. I think he's just getting more comfortable with people knowing who he is. He's a very, very quiet and reserved guy as far as media, so he's just opening up a little bit more. Dakota Henderson, do you think LaJoie is in the 9 car because Barry is going to the 4 car next year? That and Portland is just such a big difference. They probably didn't want to fly him because it's quite a distance between that and St. Louis. We got a super chat from M43 Videos. Appreciate it, a virtual fist bump. So the next time someone wrecks the leader on the last lap, they should be suspended. That's what I'm saying. It's a fair enough thing to ask. I think that's a fair question to ask because it's obviously intentional when you wreck somebody for the win. So NASCAR needs to come out and say why one is more egregious than the other, because whenever you wreck somebody in a race car, it's always dangerous. Cantaloupe Head says Benjamin Lewis. He threw the C in there. I didn't see that. I would have added that as an option. EB29, I'm going to have to look up your channel. Says Mark Langren. Josh Berry will be in Portland for Xfinity. That's probably why. Yes, that's what I'm thinking too, Napa fan. The Portland to St. Louis is no easy feat. They would need a jet for that, and I don't know that they want to burn jet fuel for that, especially for a guy who is going to Ford. So I think all of that plays into that. Did they say who will drive the 7? Benjamin Lewis. Yeah, it's going to be Carson Hocevar, Benjamin. Elite Precision saying thanks to Mark. Mark, interesting you dissed Deegan and none of the other females. None of the females finished weekend, says Mark Barnum. Dylan finally had a good finish, but Bubba still ahead in points. Maybe Bubba to the 3, says Thomas Haywood. I doubt that. Yeah, Austin Dillon is so far behind in points because of the penalty that he got. I think he lost 50 points. So factor that in. Bubba would still be ahead of him either way, though. Jay Campbell saying Blaney. Yeah, Blaney had a heck of a race. I'm going to predict Happy Harvick will drive the will be the next Ford Cup driver to get their first W, says Jamie Schweitzer. So, yeah, that's definitely a good pick. Another one would be Brad Keselowski and also Chris Buescher. I think they would have to be in the mix there as well. Wreck-It Ross. Chase Briscoe would have to be another one you throw in there. Jamie Schweitzer going Melonhead. Does Charlotte drop the Roval after the weekend? Speaking of Melonhead, there are Melonhead shirts. I'm going to do this one last time so I don't get yelled at from both sides here. But let's see here. There you go. Last time I'm going to pump it, but there you go. You can get your Melonhead shirts. You can get your Baloney Burger shirts. You can get your Action Hypocritical shirts right there at the thing I just dropped in the chat. Let's see. Does Charlotte drop the Roval after this weekend, says Mark Barnum? I doubt it because they want to have unique races. A lot of people want them to drop the Roval, but I don't think they will. Sometimes that's just a guess. I don't know. Sometimes my genius, it's almost frightening, says Chase Elliott Most Wanted. The infamous Jeremy Clarkson quote, of course. Let's see. Nepo says, should the Bank of America 500 return like road courses for fans, but hate them? I'm willing to cut the Roval and definitely bring back the Brickyard 400 on only 4 RCs that way. I mean, that could be something you do. That way it opens it up for more street races. And as long as these ovals are racing good, I think everybody would be happy with it. Mark Langren said, just saying, thumbs up. Chastain's nickname should be Teflon Ross. That would be pretty cool. I like Teflon Ross as well. I do agree with the suspension, says Jonathan. I think it shouldn't count on the last lap, but if they do, the win should stand. So there you go. Says Benjamin Lewis weighing in on wrecking on the last lap versus wrecking any other time. Helped the client with a 60s rock-themed cruise at work today, and tips she gave me an old Elite Elvis Presley Rusty Wallace diecast to add to my desk, says Say Kyle Cal. So that's at least two. That's at least 2 Elvis cars I know of, because Dale Jr., I don't know if you guys can see the white one. I've got it too far back probably. Yeah, but I've got the white Dale Earnhardt Jr. car that blew up at Richmond when he was leading the race. So yeah, there have been at least 2 Elvis cars. The other Elvis car, of course, being the aforementioned Rusty Wallace Blue Deuce. I don't even know if that one was blue though. Nice tip you got there, but it's about worthless, says William Wagaman. It's never worthless if it's got Elvis on it. No way. Napa says, I'll go one further, replace Chicago Street with a Chicagoland. Yeah, I agree with that. Then the road course haters will be happy with only 3 road courses on the Cup schedule. Xfinity was pretty exciting with fuel mileage being an issue, says one wise guy. Yeah, and fuel mileage will be an issue more often if they would get rid of the stupid stage breaks, but it is what it is. Not going to beat that drum too hard today. Everybody knows where I stand on that. Mark, nothing against females. Just think that Bikini is a mire interest in social media has more interest in social media than in racing. That's a criticism a lot of people have about her. But also she's funding her rides with social media, so it's a weird thing to sort of navigate there. I still believe JRM to pick up the 7 and 77 for Cup, says Aaron Flynn. I think somebody's going to pick them up here before too long. Cool Hand going with Bonehead for Ross's nickname. Jeffrey Felver says 11 can dish it out, but he can't take it. Melanator rules. So Jeffrey Felver going with Melanator. Thanks, Stupid Roofer, says Mark Langren. I'm super bummed we don't get to see Austin Cindric as a real pit reporter instead of asking about snacks. He was hilarious. Yeah, I think Austin Cindric did a good job. And I also think that Carson Hocevar also did a good job during the rain delays as well. If they dropped the Roval, then we would get one bad Coke 600. People would lose their mind about having 2 boring Charlotte races. Say cow, not cow. That's a fair point. The fans are fickle. We fans are fickle. I'll include myself in that. Benjamin Lewis, Carson took the microphone on Monday morning after the interview and gave great content when Larry Mack and crew were out of words, says Benjamin Lewis. I agree. He carried it there for at least 30 or 40 minutes. I was right about Barry, says Aaron Flynn. Yeah, 100%. He's racing in Portland, and of course, he's driving for Ford next year. So both of those probably contributed in somebody else being in that car. That somebody else being Corey LaJoie. Napa says if JRM does buy into Spire and Cup, they will probably change the 77 to the 88. Oh, there's no doubt about that. They'll have to have some retro or vintage link to the Earnhardt Empire. Everyone, please buckle up, obey the speed limits, and be safe. See you Sunday, says William Wagman. See you Sunday, William. Were you surprised Jimmy Johnson didn't win yesterday on Earth 1? No, not at all. OJ and Toothpaste. If they do anything at Legacy Motorsport, it's going to be a complete accident because they're getting no factory support from Chevrolet this season. I do expect them to be good next year. Bring back the Rock, says Napa Racing Fan. A lot of people want that to come back as well. I know Junior is one of them, but he is trying to keep his mouth shut because he knows he is the only reason that Wilkesboro came back. It's the only way, allegedly. It's the only way a Penske car would ever make it into my collection, says Say Kyle, not Kyle. Hey, that Elvis car is pretty good. You should check out the Elvis car that Dale Jr. ran, too. It's also pretty cheap right now. And I think the Elvis Dale Jr. car looks a little bit better. And there we go, Glockopus. John Force had an Elvis funny car, too. I was actually going to get to that, but you beat me to it, Glock. So, yeah, the John Force one is a pretty good one, too. I think NASCAR should shorten the schedule to 20 or 25 races by making every track have only one date. That will bring in bigger attendance and more viewers. Yeah, but they would lose TV and streaming money, so they won't do that. They're just looking at it bottom line. They don't care necessarily about the product. They're just more concerned about how much money it's bringing in. Mark Langer saying at least Chicagoland, it will be much safer. Yeah, I think that argument can be made. I don't know. I'm not from Chicago. Everybody from Chicago seems to say the area they're running in is pretty safe. So I don't know. I don't know. And if you live in Chicago, your relative safe might be different than other people's relative safe. Because I lived in an area that was a high crime rate for a while, and I just got so used to it that when I moved away from it and went back, I was like, man, I was so accustomed to it that it seemed normal, but at the end of the day, it wasn't normal. So it is what it is. Dakota Henderson, the Coke 600 is more prestigious now than when it was when they ran it 2 races on the Charlotte Oval. Changed my mind. That's a fair point too, Dakota Henderson. And you could make the same argument if they ran 2 races at Indianapolis. If you did one on the road course and one on the oval would be far more prestigious as well. But the Coke 600, a crown jewel, 2 crown jewels so far now for Ryan Blaney, and he's been super close to a Daytona 500 before too. So the All-Star race for Blaney and the Coke 600, Ryan Blaney racking up those crown jewels like his name is Austin Dillon, because Austin Dillon does the same thing. I'm just joking. Let's see here. John Stevens is Corey LaJoie subbing basically. Confirmation Barry is going to sign with SHR. I mean, I don't need confirmation. It's already, to me, it's already been confirmed. They've already let it slip. He's going to SHR. So I don't know. I guess some people are still need it confirmed by SHR, but he's going to SHR. Jordan Bianchi's even come out and said it. So we'll see. Josh Berry is running Portland for Xfinity. Berry to SHR likely has nothing to do with it. No, I mean that's a fair point too. When Mike Joy gives you a nickname, I think you should. I think it should stick. Mike is a legend. He gave him Ross the Boss, similar to one I gave him back in the day. I called him Ross the Watermelon Boss. But yeah, Ross the Boss is a good one too. Right now, 52% going with Melanator. I filmed a little of the first annual Earnhardt Outdoor Challenge race with Kerry Earnhardt, Kevin Harvick driving Dale Sr.'s pink Ford Cup car and lots of RCR Dale Sr. Era 3 cars. So check out Jamie's. Do you have it up on your channel, Jamie? So if you have it up on your channel, check out his channel as well. Replace Texas with The Rock, says Mark Langren. The Rock. A lot of people want The Rock back for sure. Eric has a new show that just came out titled Elliott to be suspended. Says Philip Canavan. Yeah, so I'm doing that here. I will put one up tomorrow. But yeah, my mother had tickets for Elvis for the fall of 1977. She didn't get to go. Oh, that stinks, man. I hate that. Say Kyle Nakao, I'm more attracted to a kill switch engage car over Elvis personally, but I'll always take a free 124. I need to normalize metalcore and death metal bands on cars. You remember when they say Kyle? You remember when they wouldn't let Slayer be on a car last year? That was the stupidest thing ever. Like of all bands, Slayer's been around forever, and they wouldn't let them be on a car. So that's NASCAR. NASCAR is going to NASCAR. That's the NASCAR is going to NASCAR moment. We need 4 rec fests for the fans that only show up occasionally and have races to watch, says Mark Langren. E-Step is behind us, LOL, says Philip Canavan. Stupid Roofer talking to Philip Canavan. I went to Chicago last year. It's honestly kind of sketchy. Like I was not wanting to leave the hotel room. Hey, there you go. Mark Barnum says E-Step is a good dude, kind of a drama queen. I don't know about the drama queen. I think he's a good dude though. Like I see him. I've seen him several times. I spoke to him at Phoenix. The other times I've seen him, I've just thrown my hand up and said, "Hey." But every time, and the reason I do that is every time I see him, he's always taking selfies with fans, talking to them. Like if you meet him, he's a really good dude to meet in person. So I don't know about the drama queen thing, but he's a nice guy to meet in person. I guess is what I was getting at. Jonathan Roofer, yeah, I just got the notification. So E-Step's new video is up if you want to go watch that. No doubt about it. He always does a good job as well. The annual Earnhardt event was in Kannapolis last Thursday on my YouTube channel. So it is on your YouTube channel. I hadn't caught that one yet, but yeah, I will definitely check it out after this one. That's really cool, man. Roger Trout, don't disagree with the chase penalty, but I do not like Hamlin behaving the way he has after the event, and I dislike him getting his way with the penalty. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He's clutching his pearls, and he's done not necessarily the right hook, but he has definitely wrecked people on purpose in the past. So I don't get the pearl clutching. It is once again a actions hypocritical situation for Denny Hamlin. Buy the T-shirt in the shop. It's in one of the links that I put earlier. Anything about Austin Hill's plans for next year? I think RCR still wants to bring him up. That's why I'm saying I think either Dale Jr. is going to go with Spire or RCR is going to make an attempt to buy one of those Spire rides and put Austin Hill in it. E-Step was OG Alternative NASCAR News. Tell him, Stupid Roofer. Tell him. NASCAR, ironically, though, the first NASCAR YouTuber I watched was Danny B. And I told Danny B that the other maybe last year. So ironically, he was the first NASCAR YouTuber I ever saw. And that was back when Danny B had the slides where they were just animated slides, steel frames, and he would switch them every so often. Old school Danny B. Say Kyle Nakao, I guess my dream of a Cannibal Corpse car is now out the window. At least Reddit got to run the kill switch engage scheme. Says Say Kyle Nakao. So yeah, you did at least get one on there. So maybe when metal becomes more mainstream, which you'll hate it when it becomes more mainstream, but maybe when it becomes more mainstream, or at least some of those bands become more mainstream, they'll allow them on NASCAR cars. Homer Simpson says, what happened between Eric Almirola and Bubba? So to recap that just really quickly, Eric Almirola pushed him. because Bubba Wallace was cussing him. And this was preceded by Bubba Wallace flipping off Eric Almirola when they were racing in stage 2, and the stage 2 racing got heated. Eric Almirola walked up and said, "Why did you flip me off?" And then Bubba Wallace started cussing at him, confirmed by Bubba Wallace, by the way, in his interview. And when he started cussing, that's when Eric Almirola pushed him. And then the ensuing conversation in the media happened after that. But the same security guard that broke up Ross Chastain, Noah Gragson, broke up that one before it even got going. So good on him. I think his name is Stan, maybe. I don't know. I have to go back and check that. They were talking about it on SiriusXM. That's the only reason I know that. Napa Racing Fan says Chase Elliott will be suspended from Gateway. He'll probably run the simulation for Sonoma with Chevy an extra week. He'll have 2 weeks of prep for Sonoma. There's no doubt about it. He's probably coming to that road course. He's going to have an absolute weapon of a car that race, I think. If Eric gets to 1 million subs, he should do a video where he tries to fit into Kyle Larson's car. He will never fit into Kyle Larson's car. I almost said that's not ever going to happen, and people are going to be like, he's never going to make it. Lunenberger said he'll never make it. He'll probably make it to 1 million subs at some point, but he will never fit in Kyle Larson's car. Kyle Larson is like 5'5", 5'7", and he is very, very tiny. And Eric Estep is very, very tiny too, but he is not going to fit in that car. He's not going to fit in that seat. He's not narrow enough to fit in that seat. The guy I work with in late models has a seat that is he's probably equal in stature. Craig Moore is equal in stature to Kyle Larson. A small child, you're going to need a small child to fit in those seats. That's all I'm going to say about it. The rest of us buy adult seats, and I tell Craig that all the time. He's lucky because he saves money buying children's seats to race in. Did the jobs in the suburbs, WeatherTech and Motorola, completely safe? Hey, so there you go. A lot of people from Chicago are saying that Chicago street race is in a safe area. So I don't think that's the issue so much as the local leadership is not behind it, and the traffic. A lot of the people in the city are not behind it because the traffic is going to be a nightmare, more so than it normally is. Napa Racing Fans saying we need more Chevy seats in Cup. No seats left for prospects. Hopefully Colleague Trackhouse RCR and hopefully JRM can buy charters. Yeah, for sure. I'm not dropping Eric's link in here. BB Nation up in here, LOL. You can drop the link if you want to, man. It's really not like that. I don't know. I don't know why people ever thought it was like that, but it's not like that. He's a good dude. Sorry, last Saturday, not Thursday, was the day Kannapolis Street Race was ran, says Jamie. And you can check the Kannapolis Street Race out. It is on Jamie's YouTube page. We can drop that link. Somebody can drop that link if they would like to. OJ and Toothpaste saying, I think Noah Gragson wins Gateway next week. He punches his ticket. He's not a bad road course racer, so I don't know. He might. Hopefully he doesn't go Rambo mode like he did in Xfinity last year on a road course. So how does everyone feel about Chase getting suspended? I think the vote was like 75% were okay with it. So about 3/4 are okay with it. Danny B. Rocks is a fisherman and a model railroader, says Mark Barnum. That's for sure. Those are definitely two of his favorite hobbies, no doubt about it. He's also a cat daddy. Don't forget about that one. Mr. Pearson, I think Shugs is the name of the cat. Mr. Pearson, what's up, guys? Thumbs up and cheers. What's up, Mr. Pearson? Aaron Flynn, it took two superstars to wreck each other to keep Ross out of the light. Where did Ross finish? It was in the mid-20s, Aaron Flynn. His splitter broke, and they never recovered after that. One wise guy says, Sonoma's my home track. Thinking Trackhouse goes back-to-back years. That's probably a good bet. And we're getting down here to the bottom one. So if you got any more questions, drop them down in here because they'll probably sign off in the next, let's say, 5 or 6 minutes. I basically same size as Larson. Rick, give me a call if the 5 finds himself suspended in the future. Says, say Kyle, not Cal. Hey, so there you go, man. I like it. I wish I was that small to be at least waist size wise. Napa Racing Fan, it would be easier on the knees and ankles. Ross Chastain finished 22nd, so 22nd, mid-20s. I was pretty close. 22nd for Ross, the boss, the Melanator. I guess the Melanator is what we're going with here. 52% right now. So I'll go ahead and close that one before I forget. Shaw says, hello. What's up, Shaw? Good to have you on here. Ross Chastain finished 22nd. Just read that one. Am I the only one that questions the notion that Chase Elliott is all but guaranteed a playoff spot among the Sweet 16 championship contenders? I think he'll get in too. I don't know that he's guaranteed, but I think he's definitely going to get in either with a win or he's just going to keep pointing his way in. Not going to read my comment, says Mark Langren. I tried to read all of them. I don't know which one I missed. Let's see here. Where did I miss one? Did jobs in the suburbs, WeatherTech and Motorola completely safe? I read that one. I don't think there was another one that I missed. Is that the one? Is there another one I missed? Because I definitely read that one. And then there was a message retracted, so I don't know. I don't think I missed another one. But yeah, I read that one and I said, so yeah, according to people in Chicago, where they're racing in Chicago is safe. So I don't know if I missed another one. Let me know down in the comments. Just retype it if I missed one, because I don't think I missed that one. I try to read all of them. Thanks for another great, as I call it, Bologna Bologna Burger live lowdown show. Fun stream, says Napa Racing fan. So yeah, that looks like all of them. If I missed your comment, it wasn't on purpose. I did try to read all of them. And that's about that for that one. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for your time. Peace.